He hates the inside.
He hates the inside.
Yeah.
He said there's if any possible way of we giving him some kind of suggestion of how to get rid of the inside. He said there might be a chance of negotiating with the outside.
Negotiating.
Something like that.
I met with a group of them one day, more out of intellectual curiosity as to who they were and what made them tick. I found them surprisingly articulate. They expressed a strong sense that if their outside paintings were left untouched, that the public would be impressed.
We came up to him with like a proposal to paint 10 cars inside and out and let it run in like the major stations.
And let people vote on it, like let's say during a 2-week period. And after the 2-week period, they'll have, the results in the paper. And I think the MTA will be embarrassed.
I thought there was no basis whatsoever in which it was proper for anyone to touch our property in an unauthorized fashion.
They got guys out there that are mugging people in the subways, stabbing people, throwing people into the tracks and all that.
Right there.
And they're wasting their bullshit money trying to get us.
With all respect, I think you are close to falling into the sort of trap of the 1960s culture, which says, this society has left these kids with not enough to do. If the kids have energy and want to do something, we'll give them all brooms, we'll give them all sponges, and they can do something that is publicly productive, useful, and that would earn for them the respect and approbation from their fellow citizens. It isn't the energy that is misplaced, it's the value system that is misplaced.
It's great for the riding public to be up on the station one cold and dreary day and see a nice white shiny car come pulling up to the station.
The public has knocked us for so long. We are doing nothing. It couldn't be done. We proved that we'd done it.
We painted 409 cars in approximately 8 weeks, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and not one day did we miss that production schedule.
Our personal pride was hurt. A lot of people have been knocking the transit authority. And we wanted to show them that we could do something.
See, if the Japanese can do it, we can do it.
The stuff is like razor blades, about 2 inches long, and there's one of these every 2 inches. There's really not too much protective clothing you can wear to prevent yourself from getting cut. And once you do fall into it, it's so structured that it collapses upon you. And the more you try to move, the worse off you become.
Just like, when you see in the movies, like in Apocalypse Now, how they used to protect their lines and their barricades. They want to hold back the enemy from destroying our trains.
About 3 years ago, I decided to suggest to Dick Ravitch that they put a dog in the yard to keep the graffiti vandals out. The MTA rejected it, and they said no, that if you put a dog in the yards, the dog would step on the third rail. Now, I don't happen to think that dogs step on the third rail, but I said in response to that, well, if you think the dog will step on the third rail, then build 2 fences and have the dog run between the 2 fences, and that will keep people out and protect the dog from stepping on the third rail. And the response was, well, maybe somebody will climb over the fence and the dog will bite them. I said, well, I thought that's what the dog was for, but if you're afraid of having the dog bite such a vandal, and here I called upon my prodigious memory. I said, what you should do then, instead of using a dog, is to use a wolf and have a wolf run between the two fences, because there is no recorded case in history where a wolf has ever attacked a human being unless the wolf were rabid, mad. Now, as a result of telling that story innumerable times, I embarrassed the MTA into building the fence around the first of 19 yards. And it was so successful, they now claim it as their own idea, and they're building 18 more fences.
I think it's stupid. The idea of having all this barbed wire and fences and protection, trains are still going to get written on it.
They invented the white elephant. It's still got, well, they weren't bombed, but they had little mosquito bites. I mean, call it what you want. They were still written on. They're still not spotless completely.
Dump Koch. Oh, there you go. That is the highest praise imaginable, because obviously I'm getting to them.
Say, yo, man, this is the last time on a piece. Who's doing it?
There always will be graffiti. It's a part of New York. It'll be there forever. Someone will always want to jump down on a track or while the train's moving and just take out a can of paint or a marker and put up their initial.
He still shows me all his things, which I don't even want to see. But we still talk. And he tells me just about everything that goes on. Other than that, I wouldn't really be able to tell you so much. And like sometimes, and knowing all this, right, it just really only makes me that much more fearful for him.